Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Corbin Russwin, their part number 59A1-7-pin-10. This is a key blank from Corbin Russwin. This is the part number is keyway, then blade length, and then bow type. There are some links below this video which we'll draw to that will give you an idea of how to review this information. I'm going to go into some of it. I'm going to maybe get some of it wrong, probably omit some information. But if you deal with Corbin Russwin or Russwin, below this video is a link to the manufacturer's page. And look for the document called Cylinder Manual, it might be called, or Keying Manual. Let's see. Definitely called Cylinder Manual. That is about a 100-page document, which is the single source of all information on an encyclopedic level for Corbin Russwin. If you deal with keying that material at all, or if you are at the other end and you're just curious about Corbin Russwin material, that document, I couldn't see you reading it if you're just curious. You have to be into locksmithing or bit by the love of locksmithing bug, which is an infectious disease, I think. And that will take you down every rabbit hole that Corbin and Russwin have. It is a fascinating, albeit challenging document for the person who's not someone who makes a living as a locksmith. But surviving in those environments of those keying systems without that document is certainly impossible. This is a 59A1. This is a keyway that, if I understand correctly, replaced a keyway from Corbin. This is a Corbin keyway from 1959 that replaced a prior keyway. This is what's called their X. This belongs in their X class bitting. And an X-class bitting the class is going to refer to the physical dimensional properties of the key blank and its underlying system. When you are working in Corbin Russwin, and when I say Corbin Russwin, I mean any of the three options, Corbin or Russwin or Corbin Russwin. You have to be mindful of what system you're playing in and stick in that system. That cylinder manual will allow you to obtain the data that you would need, such as step increments, DSD, depth and spacing charts, instructions on how to pin material. So the 59A1 replaced a older keyway which had been developed in the very late 19th century. This was a Corbin keyway. The original Corbin head would be more trapezoidal, but this is the 10 head, which is really an amalgamation of the X-class key bow, the Z-class key bow, and the Russwin bow. If you look at those bows from X, Z on Corbin, and then the Russwin, there are elements of all three of those bows incorporated in here. Okay, so now the 59 series is a multiplex system, and what that means is, and there is a document down below to the product brochure that you'll be able to see what I mean. The 59 series has 9 keyways. One of them is simplex. Their 60 is a simplex, which means it stands alone. Nothing else will run into it. Available in 5, 6, or 7 pin. This happens to be a 7-pin system. I would think that the amount of where this is going, I don't know where this key blank's going to end up, but if they have 7-pin cylinders, they must have thousands of doors that are running through this. Depending on the step of the system that it's being used in, let's just say it's a 2-step system, you would have 4 to the 7th power possible changes underneath a level 2 or a master keyed system. What's 4 to the 7th power? 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. It's a big number. So a 7-pin system, the fact that they ordered 7-pin tells me it's a pretty large, it must be a large system. You wouldn't order 7-pin, I don't think, for, for the locks on your house, although you could. In this multiplex system, what that means is there are 9 keyways. There are 9 keyways. Forget the simplex. That stands alone. Of the 8, the 59A1 is a sister keyway to the 59A2. Those are key blanks and cylinder keyways. Then there are 2 more, and then 2 more, and then 2 more. On top of each of those pairs sits a multi-section key blank. On the multi-section or all-section key blanks, there are no cylinders, there are only keys. So as you're looking at that hierarchical structure, on top of the 59A1 sits a 59A. That 59A key will pass either of those cylinders. A 59AB key blank will pass the 59A1, A2, B1, and B2. The 59AD goes everywhere. That's a key blank. It's an all-section key blank. And it will enter your 60 cylinder as well. So it's possible, by looking at the multiplex structure, that this could be an epically huge system where you have tens of thousands of locks. Maybe 100,000 locks, depending on the step in the system. And the way in which the way in which the biddings were created, whether it was total position progression or rotating constant. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say that you had 10,000 changes. What's 4 to the 7th? I mean, I don't know what the loss would be for max, but let's say you had 10,000 possible changes, real changes, under your 59A. Well, that's great. Let's just say that your installation required 30,000 changes. That could be the case. You've run out of changes on your 59A. You can't build any more biddings. You could take that bidding list, photocopy it, erase the 59A1 at the top and put 59A2. Now you've got 20,000 changes. Because the 59A1 keyway will not enter the keyway of an A2 and vice versa. You walk around with the 59A, you can go on all 20,000 doors. This example I'm giving is preposterously hypothetical, but it's exaggerated to give the point. You can break a multiplex system down into a simple scenario. You have your house. You've got 4 doors on your house. It's a bungalow. Lower basement, rear door, side door. You might have a door on a second floor. There might only be 3 doors. But you got a garage door. Let's say that you want to put your garage door on a 59A2, your house on a 59A1, because you give the landscaper the 59A2. Not only will that garage door not work the house doors, it won't even go in the cylinder. You walk around with a 59A key blank, which is not necessarily a good idea because it's a perverted key blank where it's physically different in the sense that it will pass the warding on the inside of the broaching of the cylinder. So it'll be thinner, let's say, and it will pass both of those cylinders. Now back to that simplex. You can see from that tree that it sits alone why you might want that. Let's say that you have a hospital campus, thousands of doors. You have narcotics rooms. Well, you know what I mean, pharmaceutical rooms. No one is to be able to go into those rooms except the people that hold that 60 key blank. However, the 59AD would be able to pass that simplex key blank. Regardless, it's probably a great grandmaster system at that point. But that great grandmaster would be able to pass that simplex. But none of the 59 series of those 8 keyways will even enter that 60. So it's creating an environment of protection of what keys are operating those cylinders. When you have physically a different keyway, like putting your car ignition key into your house, they're both, one's a key and one's a cylinder, but it doesn't go in. That's the concept of simplex. Not by eliminating the possibility that the keyway will even enter, you eliminate the possibility thoroughly of that key operating the cylinder. So that's where a simplex would be used. Let's dissect this part number. 59A1 is the keyway. 7 pin, that's 5, 6, or 7 pin. The 10, That's going to come out of the product catalog. And let's take a look at that. In that product catalog that's down below, you will be able to see the standard bows. The 10 is the standard bow. That's going to give you an embossed face on one side. Okay. They do have stamped on it the keyway on the other side. They do indicate that a 10 bow is to be blank on the other side. The keyway is stamped on here. I don't know if that's standard. I would prefer it not be on there. That tells information to someone about what this key is. I don't think it should say it on there at all. I didn't call Corbin Russwin and say, hey, why is the keyway stamped on the head of the key? This client did not order it that way. You can have an 11 bow, which is thoroughly blank on both sides. You can have do not duplicate stamped if you want visual key control. You can have a variation of that, etc. Large bows are there as well, and you can review what all that looks like in terms of high security bow heads, etc. That's all there as well. The 59 series was brought about in 1959. That's using the year in the keyway is something that Corbin Russwin likes to do. This must be this is very possibly a very old installation where you've got 7-pin multiplex system, 59 series Corbin keyways. Okay, certainly pre-merger because they're calling it Corbin. There's really nothing else to talk about this except that you've got keyway in the part number, pin length, bow type. Those are your variables. Okay, so you'll just choose among those in terms of getting what you want. The links down below this video will certainly hopefully edify you if you like more information to review that stuff. This is a brass key blank. Brass key blanks are preferred when you're doing impressioning because it makes it easier to see the impression marks on your material. Obviously, an OEM, an original equipment key, it's going to be incredibly high quality. Finally, that link below this video to the manufacturer's page will allow you to look at those documents I previously mentioned, but all the Corbin Russwin products we sell, a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. The world of Corbin Russwin and their keying systems is incredibly fascinating. And if you are a student of locksmithing, it's sooner or later where you're going to confront that document and decide to climb that Mount Everest or decide not to. I've read it a couple of times. It's impossible to attempt, in my opinion, to memorize much of it. As long as you know where to find the information, you're good. Maybe bookmark that page. Thank you very much.